Okay, so good morning everybody and once again welcome back in today's class. So we are here for the next topic called scripting. How was your experience with scripting? How's your experience with scripting? Yesterday we learned about a little bit of the scripting part. Okay. So we saw a lot of things in the scripting, right? Classes, customization, configuration. Now I'm going to take a very specific things in the scripting because this is what we have to do to move forward now. Okay, if I open this instance, and I go here, incident, create new. Now I'll give you an example, then we'll start this discussion. Now, if you see that when I load this page, not page is not right one. When I load this form, two things you notice. Color is red and short description is red. And if I say this thing, on hold, it is visible when the on hold, when the state as a on hold value. How this mechanism work, how this thing work? This work with the concept called the UI policy. What this mean? UI policy means user interface policies. User interface policies. There are two things, remember. There's a UI policy, there's a data policy, which we already discussed. There's a UI policy and there's a client script. UI policy always and always work on the form level, number one. Number two, work only those fields who are available on the form. What does this mean? Now we know that in the incident table, there are other fields as well. But you cannot use UI policy on the fields which are not able to show you, or you're not able to see this on this particular form. Okay, so these two things are important. And number three, UI policy has a UI action. Policy says policy says if this condition match. Action says do this. We use UI policy for a three purpose: to hide any field, to make mandatory any field, and to make read-only any field. Other than that, we not use UI policy. From the interview perspective, from the examination perspective, from the learning perspective, from the foundation perspective, from the consulting perspective, from the development perspective, this thing should be in your tips. UI policy do the three things: to hide, to mandatory, and to make a field read only. Now let's see how it's work. Okay. Till this point, theoretical part clear? Good.
Yes, sir.
No response is a good response. Okay. So now let's come here and search for the UI policies. Under the system definition, we have UI policies. The easiest concept, I think, in ServiceNow is the UI policy. Number one, we have to give the table name. So you can see, number one, it will only work if UI policy to show and hide field number one, to make field mandatory number two, and to read only based condition. It will only work only and only when these conditions become true. If you put any condition, it become true, only then it work, otherwise it will not work. Every UI policy have a action present in the specific form. How to see the action, I'll show you. So now I'll come here, table. I want to do on the incident table. Okay, short description. Let me open the incident table in the parallel so that we can this one. थोड़ा easy रहेगा अपने लिए. ठीक है. Let's make assignment group mandatory on the new state. ठीक. Put a meaningful name. Assignment group mandatory at new state. Easy to read. Order number is 100. Reason being because maybe there are UI policy on the assignment group as well, and that has a number 100, 200, 10, 30, 40, something less or lower number as well. So we have to make sure that we use the right order number. Right order number is very much important. Okay. So now this order is done. When to apply? Did you get anything idea from these three words? When to run? SLA. The similar concept work here. I said when to work when the short description contains the word LNG. Only in that case. Rest, let's not touch anything and click on the save. I said this should work only and only when the short description contains LNG. Now come here and let's reload this page. Let's say LNG, but it did not become mandatory. Why? Because we define the policy, but we did not define the action. Let's make it. It says on which field you want to apply it. I want to apply on the assignment group. Here. What you want to do? Make it mandatory, make it visible, make it read only. I want to make it mandatory. See, if you're making mandatory, then visible true will not work. I invited Arnab. Arnab, please come to my home for a dinner. And on the other line, I'm saying, hey, you should not be visible to anybody. Come on, Atul, how this is possible? If I'm coming to your house, people will see me, right? So think logically, and this is what ServiceNow should do. You put, that's fine, you put. If it is mandatory, then how it can be read only. Same example, Arnab, come to my house for the dinner, but don't eat anything. Atul, then why should I come? Let's try to make it as a true and save. See what it's saying. There are multiple UI policy with the same order. The run order is not predictable. Make field read only on close or assignment group mandatory the new state. It means the policy we are running has already, or the field we are picking up has already some values on that particular part, or sorry, has some UI policy on that particular part. So this is not a right case, because why you want to create the UI policy on the same field again and again and again and again? So what I will do, I'll do this thing. Let's say configuration item. Easy है थोड़ा सा. We will not get any error as well. Configuration item. This one. And save. Whites, or let me make it as a, but we should not give error for this one. A policy says make the field read only. What fields they're making read only? Let's see. Okay, see how smart service now. They told you that there is already a UI policy which make these things as a mandatory. Okay, service is not there, right? Let's make it as a service. Service offering. Now let's try to save this. See how smartly it check in the background for us. So what I'm saying that, let me click on the update. Not a segment group. Array, okay, this is that one only. Okay, now let me go back to the UI policies. UI policy updated yesterday. This one. Okay. So this is what is our condition, right? If short description contain LNG, then make the service offering mandatory. Now come here and reload this page so that the latest changes come in the picture. Service is non-mandatory. Yes. It become mandatory now. And you can see, you can write it. But now if I change it mandatory to and visible false and save, and now try to reload. Do LNG. See, it is not making this field visible false because mandatory take the precedence than this. Clear till this point? Any doubt? Any question? Arnav and Sahil, any doubt?
Just one small question. What's the significance of the order field?
Order field is, okay, I'll give you the example, then you can understand. Let's say you invited me for the dinner. Okay. Now, if you invite me for the dinner, what will be the order you serve me the items? First, I'll come your home, you will give me water, then cold drink or the tea, then snacks. After half an hour, 45 minutes, soup. Then after 10-20 minutes, you will say, okay, main course is ready. Then you will give me the main course, bread, rice, and all gravy and all. After that, you will give me this finger bowls for clean my hands and fingers. Then you give me the dessert, and at last you give me the return gift. Can you change the order of this? If you invited me, as soon as I enter your house, you say, okay, bye bye. This is your return gift. And then say, take this soup. After soup, okay, let's have snacks. Then sweet, dessert, and then main course. Definitely no, right?
Hmm.
This is what the significance of order in this particular area. Because order decide that in which sequence this should be run.
Hmm.
Now one thing, if I tell you, generally this question has been asked. If there is a fire, what you will do first? Will you call to the fire brigade first, or will you call to the ambulance first? Definitely we call the fire brigade first, because on the same field you have to do the two activities, but preference is like this.
Right.
This order field decide.
The sequence in which it will be.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it is important. That is what I'm saying, that in the scripting part specifically, this order play a very vital role. I'll show you the example as well now. Okay, so let me open this UI policies. Okay, Melissa. Now let me add a field order. Oh, it's there already. See, order 100. Now I'll show you the highest order, even 0 as well, 10,000 as well. There's a fire. The first thing you have to be called to the fire brigade. Second, you have to call to the ambulance. Third, you call to the police. After that, if you get time, after making this fire a little bit calm down, then call to or record or tell your people in the WhatsApp group or the call them and say, I'm stuck in this particular place. This is what the order decide. Okay.
Right.
So it has a very major significance. Not here, even this order field has a significance on the this is inbound action email as well. Because on a single thing you have to do a lot of work. So now we are here. Now let's understand what all these four contains. Let me change the state to the advanced. Now one thing which you guys maybe missed out. Let's say I'm saving an incident. Let's say put service offering. Okay, service offering is depend on the service only. Come on, there must be some service offering. Let me create a new then. Okay, and color is this and save. Now when we talk about the related list, this thing, this UI policy applied there as well, but that is called UI policy related list action. I don't want, so I told you, right? If you want to add more related list, right click, configure and related list. But how this will be visible. This is coming from there. List name. See, only these are visible. I don't want that this should be visible. Visible, false. But here you can do only one thing. This. And now if you come here and try to reload this. See, task SLA is gone. Why? Because we have a UI policy action on the related list now. So if I go back and remove this word, hello, and come here, and you can see task SLA is there. Now let's understand a little bit more about the UI policy. So we were here. Very small topic and very interesting topic actually. Let me open this UI policy like this. Okay, this is what we were following. Now, even though in the UI policy we can write a script and you can write your code, but we generally avoid any coding in the UI policy. See, ServiceNow give us the flavor, ServiceNow give us the place, but we must avoid writing the script in the UI policies. That's not the purpose we have. In few cases, like I'm working on some complicated visibility or this conditions, then I can write. But if you ask me as a personally, I never recommend to write a script. Now remove this and come here. It has 4 things. And this is what the whole chapter is of the UI policy will be over. Number 1, it says global. If you see here and click and see view, this option says that are you or do you want to use this UI policy for the all views? This one. Either I click on any of the view in this. Do you want to apply for this all the views? If say yes, then fine. If say no, it will ask you to write the specific module. So like if I say what is the view name here? Not the default. Default view, right? Okay, let's say I want to apply this only in the major incident one. Then it will not work in any other view. That is the first part. Very much important point here, because view is something that the way you want to present this information to anybody else. Okay, so view is the way to present the information to anybody else. So generally we say no, I want it policy to be applicable for everybody. Second, you want to run this UI policy on the form load. As soon as the form loading, you want to run this. I said yes. Means, and when the user changes the value, if you say no, let's say this and save. Let me save and come here. Now, if I put LNG, it's working. Nice. Let me try to save this. And let me put hello. Yes, now see, it is still there. Why? Because we undid this box. I said no. It means when I click on the save only, then it should work. Then only it should work. So generally we mark it as a only true. Now the third point, which is again important, is that reverse if false. What this mean? If the condition did not match, immediately reverse it. If condition did not match, immediately reverse it. So like this and save. And let's reload this page as well. So now what is the condition here? LNG, and we are able to see this one. Now if I make it as a hello, condition fails, right? And we're able to see this. And let's try to if I make it as LNG, is it be working fine for me or not? Reverse if false. Why it's not working? Reverse if false. Reverse the effect of UI policy action when the condition true false. I guess we have this thing as well. There's a one more field called it is gone, not auto clear the field value. Yes. So we are saying if condition is not matched, then reverse it immediately. And if you want on the same place, if you want that clear the field value, then make it as a true. Like this. So these two things work in a combination. I'm not sure that why it's not working for me. Reverse if false, reverse the effect of UI policy action when the condition evaluate false. So our condition is evaluating false here. Let's reload this page. Sometimes I got confused with this chat box as well. So we have LNG, this is be mandatory. See, now you can see it is still mandatory. Practically, it should not be mandatory. Right? Practically should not be mandatory because the condition is false. The condition is false. And if I put anything here, let's say, let me reload this page. Now it's working fine. So LNG, and we can put the word LNG here. Now if I change the condition to hello, number one, it should not be mandatory. Number two, this value should be removed. And both the things are not working. So first thing is not working, that's fine for us. First thing is not working, reverse if false is not working because we did not tick it. But why it's not clearing the value as well? Onload is true. Right, let me try to save this because it must clear the value as well for this one. Need to be checked then. And if I tick this and click on the save, then the condition will work for us. Now the last point is called inherit. Inherit. What this mean here? It's not a problem, but it's something that we do. Is that we create our tables from the another tables. Like incident table has been created with the extension of the task table. I'll give an example to understand this part. My father wears specs. Okay. Not continuously, but when he need to be do work. And I got this thing in myself as well. That I also wear the specs when I do work. This is called inherit. So what it says, if you are creating a table from the any other table and in the parent table that field has some UI policy, do you want to be use that as well? I said no. I said no, I don't want to be used. Let me tell you let's come here. What this mean? Inherit means in the parent table there's a field in the parent table, there's a field called service offering. It is mandatory. Okay. Now I created a table called incident from the parent table. And I have a field called. If you tick this box, it means I am catching or carrying over this particular condition or the UI policy in my incident table as well. If you don't want, don't tick this. And standard practice says don't tick this. This is what the inherit says. Also, one more concept I just putting in your mind now, I will discuss later on. Atul, in this particular task table, this field name is service offering. Can I change the name of the service offering to offer the service for my table? Can I change the name? Arnab, or let's say someone is using his father or his family surname. Now he want to modify that surname. Can he do? Yes. In ServiceNow, this is possible. And this concept is called the dictionary override. That we're not going to discuss now. We'll discuss other day. But I'm telling you the concept that we can do the dictionary override. We can change the name, we can change the reference, we can change the mandatory, we can change the read only. Few 10 to 12 actions which we can perform. And this concept is called dictionary override. Questions? Questions, please, guys.
So dictionary override is the process by which you can change the properties of the fields which you have inherited from the parent table.
Yes.
Okay.
right? So if this has been completed for you guys, let me take you to the next one.
Yep.
The next topic we are going to be discussed in the sequence of the scripting only, and that is called the client script. See, in this UI policy, you're not able to show any error message, any pop-up, any other thing other than make mandatory, read only, or hide. You cannot do anything else. Now to do a more here, we have the concept called the client script.
So basically, by help of UI policy, you can play with the fields. You can make it mandatory. You can show it. You can hide it. You
Only
can also
only three operations you can do with the help of the UI policy, not more than that.
mandatory. I did show it.
No, mandatory, hide, and visible.
Yeah, hide it. Yeah, hide it visible. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you cannot
Sorry,
populate the value of
wait,
a
wait, wait. Sorry,
certain based on something else.
sorry, Arnab, sorry. Mandatory, hide, and read only.
Oh, and read only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Visible and show is the hide and visible is the same thing.
Same thing. So
Okay.
okay. So basically, if you want anything else to be done on the form, you need to take help of the
Yes.
client script. Yeah.
Right. Now, if I come here, there are total four type of client scripts. Types. These four types are these one. On cell edit, on change, on load, and on submit. On cell edit, on change, on load, on submit. And the not a good point for us is that there is nothing called drag and drop. You have to be write the code. There is a major point here. We have to be write the code here by any chance. So it says come here and mention LNG. Okay. And let's say incident table ले लेते दोबारा से. That will be fine. Incident. Where you want to apply this UI policy, on the desktop, on the mobile or the service portal, or everywhere. I said apply it for everywhere. Either I log in to ServiceNow from mobile or desktop or this thing portal. I need to be apply this thing. The first, I'm not going to discuss this first. We'll discuss this on the last. On change. And for this, we'll take a help of the this as well, book. On change. On change means if I am changing the value of this field, I want to take some action. In the UI policy, we make this field mandatory. Now I'm saying if I change the value of this field, then what should happen? So here I'll mention if I change the service offering, let's say service, because service has a lot of values. Easy for us to do our work. Yes. Okay. If I change the value of the service on change, then I want something should happen. Number one, there's a no concept called the client script action. No, everything you have to be right here only. One part. Second part, this on change come with a specific format. function. This is the function. It says function on change control old value new value is loading is template. Let's understand this part because I gave tea to Arnab and after that I'm saying okay Arnab have a juice as well. What I'm doing, I am changing the value, right? If I am changing the value, I have to be remember the both values. What was the old value and what is the new value? Right? We have to remember the both value and also make sure I should not give the same value or the same tea again to Arnab. Means another a fresh tea in another cup I should not give because he already tasted the tea. Now he want to taste the juice or coffee. So this function is basically built up in that direction. The first parameter is called the control. Is declared but its value is never read. Let's come here on the book part. Client side, client script. And we are on the on change. Load, no, I'm going to be do on change. This. The on change function gives us the 5 parameters that we can use inside the function in our script. And here I can say that I surrender my case because I'm not a pro or the coder, the developer here, but we'll do a little bit work on this part. Control means the dynamic HTML of the field that has been changed. Means it find out that which field I'm changing. I'm changing the service field on this HTML. Okay. What is the old value which I'm going to be, which it's going to pick up from here? The old value is, let's say, old value is BlackBerry. Okay. What is the new value? New value is, I'm putting the new value is e-commerce. So two value done. Is the loading? Is it true if the form is loading, otherwise false? Means when the form get load the first time, only then it is a true. That okay, it's check the what value it contains. Otherwise it is a false. Again, don't ask so much technical part on this thing because very tough for me to be explain the exact things which has been built up. But I can give a little bit understanding what I have. And is the template. This is important. What happened that I can create an incident with the help of the template as well. Let's say on the load, the value is BlackBerry. Okay. But I use the template, and how to use the template? You can go here, you can click here and you can use the template. If I click on this template, so you can see this value get changed. Possibly in the template, we have a template management as well, little bit for the understanding purpose. So I'll show you that this thing that time, that how this template get created. So possibly the value of service get changed with the help of the template. So service now say, let me check that as well in my function. And is loading means now I get a little bit more idea. Let's say this is my fresh page. Let me create a new incident. So now see, this is a blank. This is the loading is true. This is means is loading is true. So what it says is true if the form is loading, otherwise false. Till the time the form is get load, it is true, otherwise it will become false, because now there is a nothing in the old value. Old value is empty. And this is what it's saying. If the old value and the new value is loading and the new value is empty, then return nothing, return false. So this is a standard one. Up to this part, it's a standard. And we can write our code under this. And I can say we're on the client side and we have to be use the client script. G underscore form dot add info message welcome in LNG and this and save. I'm putting the info message. Let's try to use this. I'm not sure that this code will run or not, but I can give a little bit understanding on that particular part. Is the BlackBerry. See, I got this message. If I say this part, G underscore user dot get full name and save. Now come here and see. Service BlackBerry. See this message coming on the loading as well. Even though the value is blank, still this will okay. This is what I guess the purpose for this one. Now if you see, we get the full name, but we did not display anywhere, right? You can say G underscore form dot add error message. Sorry, not allowed. Then I can say I'm not sure that how to get this get full name. This one. Let me put this where name is equal to this. Work, I'm not sure. Name dot. No, yeah, I'm doing something wrong. This is what something wrong. This line has a problem. I have to be check the code in that case. Let's come and see a little bit on this part. Okay. What I want to show, I want to be display a error message, but I want to show the name as well. They just mentioned this thing. Let me check here. They have some examples as well. To write test client scripts. Where the script examples, yeah, there. Okay, onload is there. Related list, no. Onload on change. G.form set value I have to be check again. Enter description. Okay, this is what g dot I must enter description to save. Okay, it's being like this only. Let's try to do this thing. Allowed and to copy this. I'm not sure will it work or not. Let's save and give a try. If it did not work, I'm truly helpless because this is not my the core areas, guys. So nothing to be hide with you. Okay. But if you do the practice, you will definitely learn. You guys can learn. So let me put this BlackBerry. Now it is not working, the first part. Even this is not working. Something wrong it means. But let's do one thing. Let's take this out here. Why GNS not working, yaar? Need to check again why it's not working. Reload, otherwise we'll move to the next one. I can give you the little bit practice part you can do, but not my cup of tea. Very simple to say. Because the first message is also not appearing now. Maybe let's remove everything. Let's take it back to the right place. This one. Okay. So in this, what we are doing. Okay, let me show you this example on change. On submit. On changes on the top, I guess. So what this is doing, he put the stuff on the new value. Switch is a way to call or to check the different values. It says if, let me try to copy and do this. Let's remove this as well. Okay, switch new value, this. Switch new value, case BlackBerry. What I'm saying or what we're doing, case BlackBerry and e-commerce. Okay. And last break and this. So what I'm doing, I said if the new value is a BlackBerry, then set the urgency as a 1. If the new value is e-commerce, then the urgency as a 2. Otherwise, put the urgency as a 3. Now what we'll do, Control A and click on the format code so that we can see that all the parentheses, all the brackets which we open is closed properly or not. Okay, now save and let's give a try. I'm not sure it will work or not, but let's see. So we say if it is a BlackBerry, urgency is 3. Nay, it is not working. Black and Berry. We have to see the backend name of this. Let's see if it is a e-commerce. No, nothing is working for us. Did we put something wrong here or there? One bracket, let me do this format again. One bracket close and this switch new value. BlackBerry set form value break e-commerce. Default is this parenthesis open, this parenthesis close. One, this one close for this one. Some brackets issue, I doubt. This is what the developer need to be do. So get ready if you are going to be do a developer. To its brackets are correct. Then why it's not working? Set value urgency 1. Maybe this is the issue. Or some other issue. Let's try to reload and give a last try. Otherwise, I'll not move forward. I'll just give you the picture. Okay, and services BlackBerry. No, yeah, it's not changing the urgency. Something wrong. Preview this record. Name is the right. Name is BlackBerry. Maybe it's due to sys ID or something is there. I doubt. Okay, so let come back to our point, which I know I can tell you guys. Okay. So in the client script for the on change, we see if we are changing any value of a field on the form level. One more thing important to be understand is that it will not work if the field is not available on the form. It will only work if the field is available on the form level. So this thing is true. Either a UI policy, either a client script, they only work if the field is available on the form. I'm not saying on the table level. I'm saying the field is available on the form, only then it will work properly, or it will work. Otherwise, it will not work for you.
So
This is the first step. Sorry.
Give us one example of on-change behavior on a form.
Sorry, on change area for?
Yeah, I mean one example of how it works in a form.
This is what we saw, right? That when we're changing the value of this particular.
Yeah, you can set the priority level, right? I mean, not the priority.
Yes.
Level.
So to do this part, you can do these things. Sorry, not here. This one. Set value, get add info message, add error message. This is what you can do.
Right. Okay.
Okay, but it pick up the stuff for this field, check the old and new value, and then it do the next of the things. Okay. So if you want to see, you can see here like G underscore form. Clear value of which I can say urgency or the short description. Like this you can do that, clear this value. See something wrong here because it's going in this particular part. Black, this gray color. Right? It means something wrong in our code only. Because you can see that this is working fine. Here is the black color, but here is coming as a gray color. Right? So we have to find out that what's the wrong here. Okay, so next tomorrow we are going to be discuss these three parts: on load, on submit, and on cell edit. So in short, the functionality is similar. On change if I'm changing any form. On load if I want anything to be displayed, anything want to be mandatory while loading the form, I can do. On submit when I click on this submit button. And on cell edit, it is a surprise that we discuss tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I know this is a very gray area for me, but what I know I can share with you guys here. Okay. Any doubt, any question?
No, good for today.
Sahil, Eliza,
All good.
good. So try what you have to do. Go to developer.servicenow.com and try to do the practice on that particular part. Then you will learn a little bit more on that particular stuff. Okay. Now let me take a stop the recording and take a quick attendance here.